Whenever somebody recognizes the differences in their own faith journey because of something they've seen in my work, I find that really, really moving. It's very powerful. And if it's powerful for them, it's really moving to me that we're able to kind of accomplish that through the work.
My name is Josh Hernandez. I work primarily in charcoal. I also work in oil occasionally, but my favorite medium to work in is charcoal. I grew up drawing and creating all my life. I always wanted to be in the creative industry somehow, and I went like the graphic design route. And when I went to school for that and worked in that world for a while, I loved it. It was great. But I actually shared my artwork online one day, and it really blew up. And as I shared it more in my process, it blew up more. So then I kind of just naturally went that route with the demand growing for my artwork and selling my artwork. And now it's all I do.
So the way I've worked recently is the way that I've been trying to figure out for years, because there's not really any artists that work with charcoal on canvas, especially not many artists that have cracked the code with, actually I don't even know if any that have cracked the code with making charcoal on canvas stay there and be as archival as like an oil painting or like a museum painting, right? So I've developed a process over the years that has taken me a lot of trial and error to work on a raw canvas surface, seal that over with an assortment of varnishes and finishes to be able to have that be protected for good. And it's not removable, it's very permanent and it's protected. And so there is no smudging of the charcoal anymore once it's sealed and good to go. So that's why it's presented in this way on the canvas, and it's completely covered.
So this is The Last Supper, and this is charcoal on canvas. Part of what captivates me to work and to create artwork is my faith. That's a big part of what I do. So a lot of the subject matter I do is Christian-based biblical scenery and biblical stories. And a really big part of the biblical stories is the Last Supper, right? So I wanted to capture it myself in a more historically accurate sense, right? So you have the disciples seated around the table, right? And a very low lit setting. I wanted it to kind of appear as a memory. And so not depending on color for this one, like I said with charcoal, it really depends on the value and the light that's happening here and the expression and the communication between everybody.
My work really revolves a lot around my faith. My faith is something that really dictates and controls a lot of my life in a very beautiful way from my own experience and my family and everything that revolves around that. So whenever I have work that reflects that, even the work that isn't directly Christian subject matter, for me is very impacted by my faith. And so whenever somebody sees that and whenever somebody recognizes the differences in their own faith journey because of something they've seen in my work, I find that really, really moving. I've had really good conversations before at different shows and even at this show about the impact that some of the work has done on somebody's life and their faith journey, and then just bringing them back to Christ or whatever that looks like for them. That it's very powerful. And if it's powerful for them, it's really moving to me that we're able to kind of accomplish that through the work. I've always loved creating since I was a little kid, so I think that just making something different, being expressive in the way I feel and the way that I want to portray things and even explore different subject matter is what I really love. And I find charcoal to be really useful for that. So expressive and could go really deep, really dark, and lots of contrast, lots of value change, and creating the illusion of something. You know, sometimes creating the illusion of light and shadow, I find that really challenging but really beautiful. So implementing that in the work is something I'm really passionate about.
People find mostly my work through online different areas like Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, right? So this is a cool opportunity for me to get to know people here, know other artists that are around, know other collectors that are close by, right? And then so this is me kind of branching out and just being a little bit more personal.